They mocked you. They rolled their eyes when you spoke your dreams. They called you crazy, unrealistic, and even delusional. While they laughed behind your back, you silently carried the weight of every insult, not with bitterness, but with belief. You had no riches, no support, and no spotlight. All you had was your dua, your hard work, and your unwavering trust in Allah. This video is not just about money or success. It's about faith, endurance, and divine elevation. Because when Allah decides to lift someone, He does it in ways that silence every voice of doubt. They laughed at you, but today they mention your name with admiration, not because of who you are, but because of who stood with you when no one else did. Stay with us and witness how Allah turns pain into power and mockery into miracles. Your story could be next. 1. Mockery and doubt from others. In the beginning, all you had was a vision, a dream that seemed too big for the world around you. People didn't understand it. They judged you not by your potential, but by your current situation. You weren't rich. You didn't have status. You didn't have the connections others relied on. So they laughed. They said things like, "You're aiming too high," or "This is not for people like you." Their words were sharp, and sometimes even came from those closest to you, friends, relatives, even elders who claimed they knew better. But the mockery didn't stop there. They questioned your choices, ridiculed your efforts, and dismissed your ambitions as foolish. Every failure you encountered became a joke to them. They watched, waiting for you to give up, to admit defeat. You felt the sting of being underestimated, not once, but constantly. You walked into rooms where people smirked behind your back. They saw only your struggle, never your sincerity or your silent determination. But you didn't retaliate with anger or hate. You let their mockery fuel your commitment. And while they were focused on laughing, you stayed focused on building, with your heart anchored in faith and your eyes fixed on the journey ahead. 2. Strong faith in Allah. When the world turned its back on you, your heart turned fully to Allah. You knew that people could only judge what they see, but Allah knows what lies deep within. In the silence of the night, while others slept, you were awake in sujood, whispering your hopes to the one who never sleeps. You didn't have much, but you had something far more powerful than money or influence. Yaqeen, certainty that Allah never abandons those who rely on Him sincerely. Each time life pushed you down, you remembered that your Rabb is closer to you than your jugular vein. You didn't beg people, you asked only from Allah, the controller of hearts, the opener of doors. You trusted that even if things didn't happen on your timing, they were happening on His perfect plan. That belief gave you peace when things didn't make sense. It gave you courage when things got tough. You didn't need validation from people, you needed the help of your Lord, and you believed that with Him, even the impossible becomes easy. This unshakable trust, this unwavering belief in Allah's wisdom, became the foundation upon which your future success was quietly being built. 3. Hidden struggles and patience. Behind every visible success lies a world of silent struggles. You carried burdens that no one saw, days filled with uncertainty, nights soaked in tears. There were moments when your heart felt heavy with fear, and the path ahead seemed lost in darkness, but you endured, not loudly, not with complaint, but with quiet patience. You didn't post your pain or explain yourself to the world. Instead, you bore it with dignity, trusting that Allah was watching every moment of your endurance. There were times when you were misunderstood, taken for granted, or left out entirely. You sacrificed comforts, gave up easy options, and made hard choices for a better future. Still, you remained firm, because you knew that ease often follows hardship. You reminded yourself of the stories of the prophets, how they too struggled, were rejected, and yet stayed patient through every trial. Your patience wasn't weakness, it was a strength, rooted in the knowledge that every delay, every difficulty was a part of your preparation. It shaped your character, built your discipline, and deepened your gratitude. While others gave up or complained, you kept going. Your silent sabr became your loudest statement, and Allah never let it go unnoticed. 4. Divine help and blessings. When it was finally time, Allah's help arrived in ways you could never have planned or predicted. Opportunities began to appear that you hadn't even chased. Doors opened that were once tightly shut. People who had once ignored you began to notice your work. But you knew this wasn't your doing alone. This was nusra, divine assistance, sent from the one who had seen every tear, heard every dua, and counted every silent effort. Sometimes help came through strangers. Sometimes through small chances that turned into life-changing breakthroughs. Your business, career, or ideas started to flourish, not just gradually, but with barakah, a blessing that made everything multiply beyond logic. Where others worked endlessly for little gain, your little efforts began to bear huge results. It wasn't because you were the most skilled or the smartest, it was because Allah had chosen to honor your sincerity and sabr. Even when you were unsure, Allah was guiding your steps. Even when you felt alone, He was planning your elevation. His help was subtle but powerful, a divine hand lifting you from the unseen. And when Allah decides to bless, no force on earth can stop it or take it away. 5. Transformation and success. The transformation didn't happen overnight, but when it came, it was undeniable. The same person they once ignored had now become a symbol of success. The world began to see the results, not just in wealth, but in the way you carried yourself with peace, gratitude, and humility. You didn't just earn money, you earned respect. You didn't just become rich in material things, but rich in wisdom, in gratitude, and in contentment. You were no longer trying to prove anything to anyone. Your success spoke for itself. The people who once doubted you now spoke of you with admiration. They wondered how it all changed so fast, not realizing it was years in the making. What they called luck was really the outcome of divine timing and consistent effort under Allah's guidance. And through it all, you stayed grounded. You remembered where you started and who brought you this far. You used your blessings to help others, to uplift those in need, and to remind the world that true success isn't just about wealth. It's about purpose. You became a walking proof that when Allah writes your rise, it will be far beyond what anyone ever imagined, and far beyond what you ever dreamed. 6. Message of hope and trust. Your journey became more than just a personal victory. It became a message of hope for countless others walking a similar path. People who feel broken, rejected, or forgotten look at your story and realize that their situation is not the end. You are living proof that with sincerity, patience, and unwavering trust in Allah, even the most impossible situations can turn around in ways that no one expects. You remind others that their worth is not measured by their current circumstances. That rejection from people does not mean rejection from Allah. When someone places their full trust in their Creator, even if the world gives up on them, Allah never will. Your rise is a silent message to everyone. Don't give up. Keep going. Keep trusting. you've become a source of motivation, not through speeches, but through your life itself. People now see that faith isn't just something you talk about. It's something you live, even when no one is watching. You teach others that Allah never wastes the effort of the believer, and that the end of one chapter is often the beginning of a better one, written by the one who knows what's hidden in every heart. Your journey proves one powerful truth. When you hold on to Allah, no mockery, no hardship, and no rejection can stop your rise. Success that comes with faith is not just wealth. It's honor, peace, and purpose. Let this story remind you that your time is coming too, Insha'Allah. If this touched your heart, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Ineer Deen for more inspiring Islamic content. Say this beautiful prayer in the comments: Ya Allah, raise me in a way that surprises the world and pleases you. May your story inspire millions.